just got some questions for you.
Okay.
And just relax. You've been here for a minute. So. All right, we'll see how this goes.
It's all right.
Roll. Okay, good. All right, Paul. Why don't we start with just give me your name
Mm-hmm.
and then what you do.
Yep.
That kind of thing. Just give me a little intro about yourself.
Absolutely. My name is Paul Black. I am an educator, so I've been in education for 15 years. 13 years of those I've been in the classroom. Taught middle school, so it's the best age, ages 13 through 14, 15 or something like that. And then for 2 years I've been an administrator, all in Frisco ISD.
Cool. How long have you been training at Samurai-Inti?
So this would be my 12th year training here at Samurai-Inti. Yeah, because I was a teacher for 3 years. Interesting story about that. So it was about 3 years in. I taught in special education, and so I worked with a lot of students with ADHD or an emotional disturbance, and I would work with them on social skills primarily. Some also just in the areas of behavior. But I went out to all the academic classes as well. But something that I started to feel about 3 years into teaching was that I could just tell at that point I was kind of having a harder time connecting with my students. And so I started doing this, one, because I got tired of just running on a treadmill and picking up heavy things in the gym and putting them down. Like I wanted to actually do something. But then two, I wanted something where I would get the experience of being a student. And so that just gave me an opportunity to kind of be in the headspace that my students are at when they're at school. They're not the experts in whatever classes they're in, and they still have to deal with everything else that's going on in life in order to get through the day. And I had a way of experiencing that here, and that better helped me to connect with my students at school.
That's interesting. That's really good. Actually,
Mm-hmm.
I've never heard that story.
Yeah.
But that's cool. You became a student to connect with your students.
Mm-hmm.
That's pretty cool. So tell me about your martial arts journey then.
So for those 12 years, the entire time has been Taekwondo. So 12 years of that, and started out white belt here, knowing nothing. First time I went here, I remember stretching out for just a simple side kick and just the number of pops, because I was 26 at the time, and just pop, 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 on my hips, just trying to get that flexibility. But I've gone from white belt to now I'm a 3rd degree black belt in Taekwondo and training towards my 4th degree. And then during that span of time, I've also spent about 10 years training in Muay Thai kickboxing, and then about 4.5-ish years of Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's great. So you already told me your decision to start training was because you got tired of running on a treadmill and just lifting weights. And
Yes.
to become a student.
I needed something new.
So, I'd be curious to know, how has the martial arts, specifically training here at Samurai-Inti, how's it impacted your life? And was there a moment where, along your journey, something clicked and you're like, oh, I get this? Because for me, I'm a jiu-jitsu guy. I've been
Okay.
for 12 years. So, I know there was these moments of wanting to quit or keep going. So I'm just curious about your journey. There's some special moments in there.
So part of it kind of so before I even got into martial arts, when I went through middle school, high school, and college, my other big area was music. So I have a minor in French horn performance. And so it was kind of already instilled in me to take a particular skill and you develop that for years on end. Because I played French horn for 3, 4, 7, 8, 9, 10 to 11 years. So the idea of sticking with something for over a decade has kind of, my parents had already instilled in me. So when I started this, that kind of also came out of the fact that, I was now a working adult and I needed something another skill I was learning or developing. And so, I started this, and so I already knew ahead of time that I was like, okay, I'm just going to do this, and I'm going to keep coming in day after day, one day at a time, one step at a time, and wherever I get in 10 years is how far I get in 10 years. The other thing was, to go back to me being a student, to be able to connect with my students. Probably it clicked for me during jiu-jitsu, because rolling in jiu-jitsu is a very unique thing, and when you start doing it, in many ways it feels like drowning, because you're like, every which way I'm going to try to get out of something. I am now like further into my problem, and your brain is really forced to go through those moments of, do I give up or do I persevere? Do I push through? And that was really when it clicked with me, as far as what I was getting out of martial arts and how that was benefiting me in other parts of my life. Like all the combat stuff, that doesn't really translate, but just the mental aspect of encountering an adversity, and how do you respond to that? Do you give up or do you push through? And that has paid dividends to me, and has just, now it's just become a normal part of my life, and I don't ever see me stepping away from this, and just depending on what injuries I get, it will probably dictate what style of martial arts I spend time doing.
That's great. Yeah, that's funny, man. It's a great analogy about Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu.
Mm-hmm.
You just roll right into something worse. Try to quit, or try to and relax and try to keep going, because you're going to survive.
Mm-hmm.
As a student,
Yep.
Samurai-Inti, if you could tell someone about this place, about Sebastian,
Mm-hmm.
the teachers here, why this place? You've stuck around for 12 years
Yep.
now, so there's a reason for that.
I think the big thing for me, what really stuck with me here was, with Sebastian, with Chris, with Angel, is that they really invest in you. And I think that's something, maybe it has to do with me being in education, that I pick up on very readily, where you can tell if someone is actually, looking to see, are you making the progress that I'm looking to see out of you, and am I going to push you further, rather than just being essentially a number. And that's what really has kept me here. That very quickly evolves into like this, being a family environment. It's always been good people here. Everybody looking to encourage and support one another. This hasn't been a place where, people who are angry at the world and looking to take out their frustrations on those around them. This has been a place about lifting people up, making each other stronger, and that's what's really kept me here. And that's led to me developing friendships here that have lasted over a decade.
So I guess then,
I'm sorry, could you do that again? I hit the
I
wrong.
saw your Indeed.
I was checking something, I hit the wrong button, and I screwed up the shot.
That's okay.
I'm gonna ask you.
Because that was a great sound
I
bite.
know. So, Paul, you've been here for like 12 years now.
Yes.
And there's a reason you stuck around so long. So tell me about Samurai-Inti and the instructors here, and the environment here that they've cultivated.
Yeah, I mean, I initially chose this place like the way anyone would when they have no frame of reference, and that started with Google reviews. And so I actually lived in these apartments right across the street, and I kept driving by this place, and I was talking to my wife, and I was like, I've been wanting to do martial arts. I always wanted to do it back in high school, and I never did, just because of all my time in band. And she was very supportive, and she said, why don't you just go check it out? And so, I looked at reviews, saw this place, looked like a good place to start, so I started coming. And what really stood out was, with Sebastian, with Chris, Mr. Angel, when he started coming here, is they all are very intently focused on seeing people make progress when they're here. Coming from education, I feel like it's pretty easy for me to pick up on whether someone is actually invested in another person and how they're developing versus, is this person just a number to me or a stepping stool to get me to where I want to go? And so, being here, it's very clear that they care about everybody who comes through those doors, and they believe in the values that have molded this place into what it is. And, they instill that within their kids. They model it for them day after day, and they model it for the adults as well. That's really stuck with me, and that has evolved into me developing friendships here that have lasted over a decade, and me being able to make the progress in different martial arts styles that I have has been due to their time and investment in me.
That's all I got, man. I think we got some great stuff.
All right.
Yeah, you're a great speaker.
Cool.
I'm glad you're in the education. We need it. People like this, so that's great. All right, well, thank